Hey there, I'm Felicia with Compass Land USA. We have a brand new land blog video to share with you today. Before we get started, a quick question. Are you considering buying land in Pueblo, Colorado? I've broken it down for you in 5 easy steps from a macro perspective. So the first step to buying vacant land in Pueblo, Colorado is you need to start by asking yourself, what is my goal with land in Pueblo? Why land? Am I going to be reselling after my purchase? Am I looking to build on it? If so, what am I going to build? A tiny home, retirement, new family home? Am I looking for commercial or residential land? These answers will guide you to finding your ideal Colorado property. Step 2, locate the land. The location of the property plays an important part of determining its value. Pueblo County enjoys 4 seasons a year, which makes it worth having property there to enjoy more than 250 sunny days each year. There are a handful of ways to find vacant land to buy in Pueblo, Colorado. First of all, you can call or text us, Compass Land USA, and we can try to help you find what you're looking for in Pueblo. You can also try working with a realtor who has access to the multiple listing service, also known as the MLS. There are also public auctions held by cities and counties in Pueblo County that frequently offer vacant land for sale, mostly due to unpaid taxes. Working with a real estate professional might be ideal if you are new to buying vacant land because they know the tips and tricks of the trade. You can also try searching for land online using a bunch of free tools like LandWatch, Lands of America, even YouTube. Step 3 is going to be evaluate the land. So you've figured out why land, what kind of land you're looking for, you have located it, and now you need to evaluate it. Real estate professionals have easy access to most sources of information for research on vacant land, and it doesn't hurt to do your own research just to double check. You can search the county records for the deed and ownership history. This is also kind of known as the chain of title. So there should be a nice, clean chain of owners, a chain of title record from one previous owner right to the next. If there is not, then there will have to be legal paperwork done that takes time and costs extra money. If the chain of owners is not clean and easy to follow, it could be indicative of a bigger underlying issue when you go to purchase the property. It might ultimately mean that there could be an issue with purchasing and you won't actually end up with proper ownership. And that's why all the legal paperwork needs to be done properly. This can be a really complex and messy process. It might be worth considering using a title company to help you close the property. So you're letting them do the messy work for you. Yes, it does cost more, but again, you don't have to worry about the headache around all those paperworks. You also want to make sure you look up the property taxes. If there are any open certificates, liens, outstanding taxes owed, and you purchase that property, the owner might be able to take the property back from you before the waiting period is over. Typically, that's 4 to 5 years. You could also, this is kind of getting out of the scope of this land blog video, but you could also kind of bring that property out of what's called a quiet title. Again, that costs extra money. You're definitely going to need legal aid, legal help. It's easier to just look up the property taxes, look up any debts and liens owing beforehand. That way you know exactly what you're getting into. You can look into the current and future zoning of the vacant land. Will the municipality's future plans interfere with your own? Will you be able to request an exception? Are there any deed or usage restrictions or building requirements? Review the physical characteristics of that property. You do not want to get stuck with someone else's garbage or junk to clean up. Another thing to consider is, will the property be large enough for your plans? Is there an excessive amount of clearing that needs to be done? Is it on a creek or a river? Does it have direct access to tap into a utility system? Are there plans for utility expansion? check into the plat maps and any surveys available to make sure there are no surprises and you're not caught unaware. So this is all part of your land evaluation process. Step 4 is finance the land. So you have decided on what kind of property, you have found the property, you have evaluated, and now step 4 is, how do I pay for it? How do I finance this property? So you found it, now it's time to fund the closing. How are you going to do that? Do you plan to pay cash? Do you need a loan? Do you want to owner finance? It's a lot more difficult to buy vacant land with a loan from a bank than it is to buy a building, either residential or commercial. There are only a handful of banks that will loan on raw land, and they usually require a much bigger down payment. That's because there's no collateral, right? So if you can maybe do 10% down on a home, but if you miss your payments, well, the bank gets your home ultimately. So they're taking a bit of risk by giving you a mortgage for vacant land. And that's why so few banks do it, and they will ask for a much larger down payment because there's no collateral on the property. Another option for you would be to form a partnership to invest in vacant land. You might be able to form an agreement to pool your funds to buy a larger portfolio of land that ultimately will give you larger returns. At Compass Land USA, we do offer owner financing on almost all of our properties. There are normally 3 different plans for you to choose from. We can also work with you directly to create a custom plan that fits your budget. Just something for you to be aware of there. So step 5, last one, hold your land. Now that you've purchased it, what's your holding plan? Are you going to flip it right away, or will you hold it for a few years? Keep in mind that the faster you make a profit, the larger tax you might have to pay. The longer you hold on to it, and the less capital gain tax you will have to pay. But keep in mind, there are annual taxes given to that property by the county, and also possibly a homeowner or a property owners association dues. And those two can add up to quite a bit. Are you planning to hold it for the long term and use it as a personal campsite? Or maybe build a base to be used as a hunting cabin? This all comes back to your why, right? All the way back to step 1. Make sure you've really thought through step 1 before you've gone through all the notions of purchasing that property in Pueblo. You can always give us a call at 313-349-0434 or send us a message if you have any questions about buying vacant land in Pueblo, Colorado, or if you want to check out what listings we have for sale in the area. We're happy to walk you through that as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. We do lots of land blog videos as well as custom property tours for all the properties in our inventory, unless they sell first, and sometimes that happens. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.